A Raisin in the Sun is a play that was published by the late Lorraine Hansberry on March 11, 1959. The play itself is iconic, with 4 Tony nominations for its original run and a Tony Award-winning revival in 2014. A majority of the reviews for the play throughout time have been overwhelmingly positive. Critics and audiences appreciate how honest the play was with the issues of race and injustice in America in the 1950s. I chose this play because I have always been interested in African American culture and the civil rights movement during this period of time. I also want to review this play because I have heard about it and how revolutionary it was. A Raisin in the Sun takes place and was released during the rise of the civil rights movement following the end of World War II. America was employing segregation during this time, making it difficult for most African Americans to receive fair jobs, services, or housing. Despite the dire situation in America for African Americans, change would slowly but surely begin happening across the nation through social reforms, activism, and legislation. Act 1 of this dramatic play establishes the exposition of the story and theme of finding your own dreams. The protagonist, Ruth, her husband, Walter, and their entire family is in dire straits. The hope lies on the matriarch of the family, Lena, and her check given after her husband passed away. Walter wishes to use the money to invest in a liquor store. Ruth wishes to use the check for Walter's sister's education, and Lena wishes to use the check on a new house for the family. The rising action begins near the end of Act 1, when Ruth announces her pregnancy and Lena's check arrives in the mail. Walter expresses to Lena that he wants to use the check for the liquor store, but she refuses. This news is followed by Ruth announcing that she paid to receive an abortion, resulting in Walter leaving the apartment abruptly to get away from the family. He does return later drunk at the beginning of Act 2 after going to multiple bars, berating his sister's boyfriend and Ruth, before Ruth and Walter question why they argue and make up. Lena then announces that she finally decided to use the check to invest in a down payment on a house in Cleveland Park, a white neighborhood in Chicago. The news devastates Walter, who wanted to use the check to buy a liquor store. The climax of the play begins at the end of Act 2 through Act 3, when the family is about to move out. When a white man claiming to be a member of the Cleveland Park Improvement Center explains how they shouldn't move in, and that the citizens wish to pay them not to do it. Disgusted, the family rejects the offer. It is a victory until another man arrives and tells Walter that the man he entrusted Lena's check with for the liquor store ran away and couldn't be found. With the family devastated, Walter decides to call over the official from Cleveland Park to agree with his deal. The following action takes place at the end of Act 3 as the man arrives to the residence. Before Walter agrees to the deal, though, he in front of his whole family delivers an awe-inspiring speech about his family's hardships before he ultimately tells them that they won't make a deal. The resolution shows the family happily move out of the apartment as the lights fade and the play ends. I appreciate the character development of Walter throughout the play, because he represents the common man, but he is also incredibly troubled. He tries to express himself in his struggles with people like Ruth and Lena throughout the whole play. He was jaded from the hardships of life. At the end of the play, though, as he's about to give up the house and his dreams, he realizes that he had everything he needed all along. I would heavily recommend this play to anyone who's interested in the history of America and the civil rights movement, because the play covers the material of African American life in an authentic and unique way. The dialogue for each character is also captivating from the beginning to the end. This play is truly a unique piece of American history.